Sometimes when you multiply decimals together, like 0.2 times 0.3, okay, if you follow the rules we talked about yesterday, you end up with something that looks like this. Do I have to line up the decimals? No, not with multiplication. In this case, they did. Okay. What is 3 times 2? 6. I hope everybody knew that. Now, if I do the next step and count how many digits are to the right of the decimal, what do I end up with? Peter? 2, because there's 1 here and 1 there. Well, here's the deal. If you end up with more digits when you back up than you have there, you have to add 0 so that it takes up that place. Okay? Because this was 6, I had 2 decimal places. I start here, there was 1, the second one, a 0 needs to be put in there. 2 tenths times 3 tenths equals 6 hundredths. 2 tenths times 3 tenths equals 6 hundredths. And it can get kind of goofy if you have things that look like this. What's 0.002 times 0.4? Well, the multiplication parts are easy. What's 2 times 4? 8. Where does the decimal go? Well, how many digits are to the right of the 0 decimal here? 1, 2, 3. To the right of the decimal here are 1. So I got to move the decimal after the 8 4 places backwards. Well, one of the places I get with the 8, but then I have 2, 3, 4. All of those loops need to be filled in with the decimal. Okay, when you multiply by small decimals, usually we're used to thinking about decimals or multiplication. When you multiply things, numbers get bigger. 8 times 8 is 64. But when you multiply by decimals, you have to remember you're multiplying by something that's less than 1. And 2 thousandths is very much less than 1. Okay, and when I multiply that by something like 4 tenths, which is also less than 1, when I multiply all those really small numbers together, I get an incredibly small number, which is what? 8 what? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 8 ten thousandths. Okay, so when you multiply by a number that's less than 1, you actually get something smaller than you started with. Which makes sense, because if I asked you what half of 8 is, what is half of 8? Half of 8 is 4. How do you show that mathematically? 8 times 1/2. 8 times something smaller than 1 gives me something smaller than I started with. Okay, that's just the way it works. All the word of in math means multiply. 8 times 1/2, 0.5, gives me 4. If I did it out, what would I get? 8 times 0.5, 5 times 8 is 40. 1 decimal place, I get 4. So if I can tell Luke's there, you have a question. DJ?
So can you do all this stuff with money too?
I don't know what that means.
Like,
Yeah, money is nothing more than a decimal.
oh yeah, but
Sure.
like, isn't that?
If you have 10 quarters, 10 times 0.25, you get 250. Move the decimal back 2 places because that's where it is. $2.50.
Yeah, but like, what do you have, like 18,000?
No, we don't have 10 thousandths in money. There's no such thing as a 10 thousandth. The smallest amount we divide a dollar into is 100, and that's a cent. 1 cent is 0.01, which is 1/100th of a dollar. The only place you'll ever see this over here, one more place, is where? Anybody know? You do see it. Matter of fact, when you go home tonight, you would see it if you looked.
Oh.
Only place, and I don't know why they do it, but they do. Alex?
When you pay for gas.
At a gas station. If you look at the price of gas, I believe the last time it was $3.19. And then if you look at the sign, they either do it 2 ways. They either put a little 9/10 here, or maybe you'll put a 0.9 there, whatever it is. That actually means your gallon of gas costs $3.19 and 9/10 of another cent. Okay? Believe it or not, really, you're actually paying closer to $3.20, and it's always like that at gas stations. You'll look at every sign at a gas station. You don't really notice it. These are always in great big letters. And then off to the side, they got like a little 9 sitting there, or a fraction 9/10 or whatever it is. What that is you're paying, you should go into the gas station and say, here, I would like 9/10. I'd like 9/10 of a cent of gas. And then when they say why, I say, well, you have it out on your board that that's how much gas costs, $3.19 and 9/10 of a cent. But here's 9/10 of a cent. Or give them a penny and say, I'd like my 1/10 of a cent back. See what they say. Here's a penny. I'd like my change back for my 1/10 of this 9/10 of a cent of gas I'm going to buy. I don't know why they do that. It's a trickery is what it is. Now, back when they started selling gas back in the early 1900s, I mean, just like bits, 9/10, a penny was a pretty, I mean, it wasn't a lot of money, but it was certainly more than it is now. You could get candy for a penny. So you actually, 9/10 of a cent was actually worth a little bit more than it is now. Now people won't even bend over to pick up pennies.
I do.
But you know the saying is a penny saved,
It's a penny
is a
earned.
penny earned. Yes, Luke.
So if you have 12 times 0.5, that would equal 6, right?
Half of 12, yes. You got it. Just like 0.25, Alexa, is the same thing as 1/4 of something. So if you multiply 12 times 0.25, that's the same thing as taking 12 and dividing it by 4. It's 3. See, decimals are all related like that. I think we talked about this. Jacob Kunzendorf.
This does not relate to math, but why are all the teachers wearing name tags?
I don't know. Why are all the students asking why the teachers are wearing name tags?
Because we don't-
Which, going back to this thing, Alexa, I love to multiply by 0.25. You know why? Because I always think of money. Okay? Because if I have 36 times 0.25, I just think about that like as if I have 36 quarters. How much money is 36 quarters? Well, if 4 quarters make up $1, 36 quarters is $9. It's 900. I don't have to look at it because I know. Huh?
Wait, no.
It's 36 quarters.
No.
36 quarters times, or 36 times 25 is 36 quarters. How much money is that? Well, you know, 4 quarters make $1. So if you have 36 of them, divide that by 4,
$9.
you get 900 cents.
Well, $9.
So multiplying by 0.25, you get the same digits as if you divide by 4. Because it's a fourth of whatever. Christine?
I don't think there is, but can there be more than one decimal?
No, not in any number. No. Now, with phone numbers, sometimes they're written with decimal points instead of dashes, but that's not an
Even
actual
in
number.
pi?
1 decimal point's all you'll ever get. You get the little ellipse thing at the end. Those aren't decimal points, they're just ellipses. Somebody else had a question there before we forge ahead? DJ?
So what if you had like 18